In today's episode, I want to share two big lessons with you that really hit today as I was reviewing my lessons just over the last couple of weeks. One is something that helped us break a record with one of our companies in our portfolio with hitting over $530,000 in cash collected in 1 month with the smallest sales team we've ever had at that company. And then the second lesson coming from a past guest that we actually had on the show, Trevor Mock, and it helped me create a weekly system with my executive assistant that's been a game changer for keeping me focused, energized, and way more productive. So that's what we're diving into today. So let's do it. One of the companies in my portfolio, we had actually 3 people on the sales team, and the sales manager had been, consulting with me asking like, hey, like, what should I do? We have an individual that's just super negative and just kind of like bad energy, just always, sour attitude every day. And I'm like, man, like we need to remove people out of our business that are like that. We can't have people that are negative. This was a conversation again, like when I invest into companies, I act as, like the coach consultant to the partners in these companies. So I'm not going to force them to do a decision. I just strongly recommend decisions that I know are the right thing for the business. And so in this situation, he kept this team member a few months longer than he really should have, and finally just, bit the bullet and, let the super cancerous team member, relieved him of duty from the organization. And, everyone knew that this person needed to go. And so here's the funny thing. First, our sales manager thought that we needed 3 salespeople to manage the amount of leads and projects that were being done by this company. And I really thought we only needed 2, but time will tell, right? So basically that happened within about 60 days of this team member being removed from the organization. Here's the crazy thing. We spent no additional money in ad spend. We had no additional marketing resources that were going out to bring in additional business than what we had already had been doing. What happened actually shocked everyone. The 2 remaining reps really stepped up, and they both were super excited, positive. It was like this negative weight of this energy got removed from the team. And this is an in-person team, so it's like that in-person energy really matters. And so the energy completely shifted, and last month they were able to hit $530,000 in new cash collected in that business. And so it's really cool. And it's actually the best month ever for the business with the smallest sales team that's ever been there. It's always been up to 3 reps. And so moving it to 2, we got better results, which is crazy, right? Less commissions and salaries and all this stuff paid, but we actually were able to do more in revenue. So super cool. And so what's really the lesson here? Well, one toxic person can really kill your team's potential. So one thing that I always tell our partner companies that I'm consulting with is if a person has talent, but they have this, negative attitude, you don't want to keep them in the organization. It's way easier to hire people that are aligned with your core values as a company, and it's way easier to hire somebody that has a positive attitude. Obviously, you want them to have some of the technical skills as well, but it's easier to get someone that has the core values and the attitude with most of the technical skills for a role and train them up on the technical skills than it is to get somebody in your business that has all the technical skills, but they're negative and they're just a freaking sourpuss to be around. That is something that, is really, really key. And, not all damage shows up on a spreadsheet. Sometimes it shows up in the culture, the energy, the confidence, and how people are showing up to your business every day. And so the people really matters. And so this is to you, listener, that if you know that person on your team that is negative and they just are freaking they make you dread coming to work every day, why are you keeping them? There's going to probably be some short-term impact, if you part ways, but remember, it might be the thing that actually moves the needle and unlocks the long-term growth that you're looking for while you actually enjoy going to work with the people that you're working with every day. So something to consider. That was the first lesson that as I was reflecting, I'm like, man, that's just something that really has to be shared is, setting yourself up with the right team and cutting the toxic people out. And so the second lesson, as I was kind of reflecting here, guys, was, focusing more on how can I get more mental space and be feeling more energy. And a lot of times, just transparently lately, the last couple months, I get to midweek, end of the week, and I'm literally yawning as I'm talking. I just had been feeling just drained and my energy levels were super low. And having the conversation with, this was in an episode a few weeks back with Trevor Mock. He was talking about this energy audit and something that he does with his executive assistant. is, she kind of gatekeeps his energy, and I'm like, I like that. Like, I want to do what you're doing. So something I'm now implementing with my EA, and so I'll have to report back in the future with you guys, but I'm really excited is what we're doing is we're starting every Monday. My executive assistant puts on my calendar where we sit down to go over my week. Basically, what I'm doing in that is like I have my plan of the biggest priorities and initiatives, objectives that I want to accomplish for the week. She has that, in front of her as well. So we're both on the same page of what's most important for the week. And then we make sure when we're looking at the calendar that those priorities have enough time to get accomplished for that week, or if there's things that need to be scheduled, she then goes to work on getting those things scheduled and really helps protect me from drowning in meetings and getting stuff thrown on my calendar that just need to, where she could just gatekeep and protect my time. Throughout the week, what our plan is then, she's going to keep reviewing like the objectives and action items for me. And as I get them done, I'm just going to be updating on our jointly shared doc together. And then the things that, aren't getting done, I have her as her role is checking in and seeing like where can we move this around, how could we make sure that this gets done by the end of the week. So like her helping just manage me and my time really for the week and keeping me on track and being pulled from things that are important, that were identified as most important at the beginning of the week. And then on Fridays, what we're doing basically like kind of a 2-question review and then actions out of it. So basically this is what it is. So on Fridays, what we're going to do is question 1 is from the action items I told that we co-agreed that need to get done for that week, did 80% or more of them get accomplished? If we did, successful week. Not every week's going to be perfect, and so I'm not going to set the standard for myself that 100% of everything I say that I want to do that week is going to get done, because let's just be real, like it just doesn't happen. So 80% or better is the goal for the week from a priority standpoint. Second is, and probably more importantly for like what I'm trying to do for myself personally, is my energy. Like, how's my energy feeling? Like, am I feeling energized and inspired and excited and, happy with what's going on in my life? That's the second question that, we're going to go into. And so what do we do with the energy one? So if I feel like I just felt drained this week, or I'm like, feel like just, frustrated and just not feeling good, what our plan to do when we go through that is like, well, what's broken about the week? What needs to shift for next week to be better from a priority standpoint, if its priorities were under 80%, and then from an energy standpoint, if I'm not feeling energized at the end of the week. What our plan is we're going to go through each day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then, obviously whatever we went through from Friday, and basically identify what were the things that I hated about the days on like any of those days. Like, were there certain meetings that just drained my energy? Were there certain people that I had to deal with that drained my energy? Were there certain problems that I had to deal with that drained my energy? Did I miss the gym on some of those days? And it's like, oh, duh, I didn't make it to the gym that day. So that's why my energy was probably off that day. Did I, eat my meals? Like, did I get my breakfast? Did I get my lunch? Did I get enough water? Like, basically just reviewing through the days and just trying to uncover, like, why is my energy not super high? And was it something from personal on the gym side or health? Was it something from, in the business that I wasn't getting taken care of? Or just like we uncover that maybe there's 4 different types of meetings that are on my calendar that literally drain my soul from my body and I just hate being in. And it's like, well, how do we just uncover how to get someone else to take care of that so I don't have to do it, so we can regain the good energy for me? So that's, really the goal on that's just continuing to be productive. I mean, I'm 13 years, guys, into being an entrepreneur, coming up on, oh my gosh, I'm coming up on 14 years here in about 4 months from this recording of being an entrepreneur. So it's like, I want to have great energy for the rest of my life as I'm trying to do everything that I want to do. So goal is to be productive, not feel like burnt out and frustrated and, lower energy, and then empower, my assistant to really just manage my calendar, helping me manage and audit energy on a weekly basis. And so I could just focus more on leading the companies and the things that we're doing and not just doing and putting out, problems here and there. The new kind of the flip in this is, instead of having my executive assistant, reacting to requests from me, this is more of like a proactive approach where our new goal is for her to operate my life schedule for that week. I'll have to report back to you guys on that, but I'm really excited about it because I just, keeping up on all that myself on top of everything else I have to do, is a lot. So I'm just excited to have the help. In previous episodes, I talk about who, not how. It's like, how do I do this? It's like, well, I have a who that's really talented and cares and wants me to be successful. So I'm going to lean on my who. So 2 big lessons: fewer people, better energy, better results. Don't be afraid to let someone go if they're destroying your culture. And then second, for those of you that do have an executive assistant, empower them to help them run your week, not just schedule it, to keep you staying in flow and to finish your week strong and to continuously be improving your energy each week. If you got any value from this episode, all that I would ask that you do is share an episode with a friend, text a friend that is a business owner that you think would get value from this episode or the podcast in general. The only way that, this continues to grow is to have people share it with their business owner friends. That's my entire marketing plan with the podcast, is growing it through positive word of mouth by giving real, true value and lessons that I've found to grow and scale companies to multiple millions a year and become financially free. So share with a friend if you got any value. But with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next episode.